Hey, yo, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yo, your host, with this is Sound So YYBY. All right. The wires. It's nothing to be scared of, man. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to kind of help y'all out right quick to get an understanding of about the wires for those who never use reason, or you tried it and when you saw the wire, you was like, hell no, you got the hell up out of there. All right. The first thing I want to tell y'all is this. If you're serious about working in a recording studio or a big recording studio, the wires inside Reason, this is the only door that would teach you how to rig racks up. That's for a fact. This is the only door that would teach you, because the way they rig this stuff up in back of here, it's the same way how you rig this stuff up inside the recording studios. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you mess with the physical stuff. So that's a pro that you'll learn. So now, Reason already automatically rig things up for you. So if you don't want to deal with the wires like that, it'll do everything for you as soon as you drop the plug-in in. As you can see, you know, as soon as I get a plug-in, if I just drop it in right here, it's going to automatically rig it up for me. You get what I'm saying? So they already meet you already there. For those who, you know, who feel like wiring things will slow you down. Because I get it. You don't know it. You don't understand it. It will slow you down if you don't know what you're doing. This is why a lot of the times when we create certain rig up things, we put it in the combinator and we save it as a preset. You know, as I got many ideas and many plugins. So, but what y'all got to understand is that the wiring in the back, you can come up with the most craziest ideas than any door that's out. You got that option because this is the only door that's designed this way. You come up with the most craziest ideas. And also, if you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. You can just get whatever you got, drop it in there and create. You know, the only thing you might have to tamper with is when you want to do a side chain, you know, a parallel or a side chain or something like that. But check this out. Because I did a previous video about these the newest plugins inside of Reason, which is the let me show you. Let me go to the effects right quick. I did a rant about these, like the side chain plugin right here, as you can see, the side chain plugin. This right here, I did a video talking about that I wasn't too hype about these plugins because I had some that I can use from rack extensions that was for free, or, you know, that you can pay for or whatever, and they serve the same purpose. But now I understand the reason, one of the reasons why Reason add these in. Reason should be more blunt, be more direct, and say, listen, we put this in because of A, B, C, and D. I don't know if they want you to think what they're thinking, you know, stuff like that, but a lot of the times, man, they do things for an important reason. Like for this browser, for example, I really think they created the browser this way now so they can add certain features, because they probably wasn't able to really add those certain type of features, you know, the way it was before. I mean, who knows? Because they know their DAW more than we do. They know the coding. It's an old school DAW, so they can't re-script it, you know, like, you know, re-script the whole DAW, you know, so it's pros and cons. It's the same way like at Cubase and stuff like that. That's why the modern day DAWs, they can do certain things real quick because the way they design, you know, the compatibility with certain computers, more up to date stuff. This is one of the reasons why Reason had to update their computer. I mean, they DAW to be compatible with 4K HIDPI. So they had to do certain things, which they said a long time ago, so they can start adding certain features inside of the DAW, A, B, C, and D. So now, but let's go back to these plugins right here. The reason why they did these like this, even though we can do it with the wires, is because of the new gen. For those who don't want to deal with the wires, if they want to do a pump, if they want to do a side chain, A, B, C, and D, I get it. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. It crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, snap. So even though the wires is great, never get rid of the wires, because we the guys who like to rig up shit and come up with the most craziest ideas. Also, the reason why they should never get rid of the wires is because of things like this, of people who create crazy ideas like this. Let me show y'all something right quick. And I got another video that's about this, but I'm gonna go to one real quick. I'm gonna make this video won't be too long. I'm gonna go to my preset, I'm gonna go to my combinators, right? And I'm gonna go to the pulverizer right here. So I'm gonna go to a 3-band pulverizer, right? I'm gonna drop that in. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So I forgot the guy's name. I always forget his name, but he created this. So in Reason, you can create plugins by rigging things up. So the plugins that you already have inside the DAW, you can come up with the most craziest ideas, shit like this, right? And this is why the rigging part is even dope. So what I mean, let's go to the original pulverizer that's inside of the DAW. It's right here. This is the original one right here. So they made a 3-band right here, and when you open it up, when you open up this 3-band, this is all the stuff in this combinator that's rigged up to create this concept, right? You couldn't do this in other DAWs, even though Studio One now got the thing called the splitter, right? The splitter where you can grab sounds and on your vocal chain, you can fake certain things on the right side, fake certain things on the left side, stuff like that. But it's not on the level like this though, man. So the only closest thing I could say that can probably do this concept or close is Bitwig. Now it's all about what Bitwig allow you to create your own plugins. So in Reason, you can create your own plugins because of the combinator, and you're able to rig things up. You come up with crazy ideas like this, y'all. You come up with ideas like this and sell the concept for those who use Reason, or those who decide to want to use Reason's rack inside of another DAW. So I'm giving y'all different understandings of the wires, why they so dope and so important. But at the same time, you don't have to tap into them. You don't really have to deal with them that way, because everything rig up for you automatically. They help you get your creative ideas out until you get to a point where you can really understand like how the wires work, and you're not inferior of the wires. It don't confuse you, And then they also got little features on here where like you press K where it makes certain wires disappear. So whatever you decide to select, it'll show those wires so you don't be confused about what's what and what's connected to what. You see what I'm saying? Small things like that. So yeah, that's many reasons why you should, not be scared of these wires, man. They did brilliance when it came to that, man. They knew, because the truth is that if it was to a point where we really got to tap into the wires, everything we do, man, people won't be using Reason like that, because they wouldn't have time for it unless they create something and make them a template. Way society is today, everybody want things fast, get it done real quick. And I know time is money based on what you're doing, and I get it. You don't want to dwell on something all day to get a certain idea out. But that's why this concept been like this since day one, and they got sharper with it. So fellas, for all the new gens who want to use a beat software and record vocals and do their thing, Reason is a joint you can mess with, because I know a lot of y'all be inferior of the wires. Y'all start saying that shit, y'all start panicking like, oh hell no, that's a lot of work. What the hell going on? I don't know what to do on that. Y'all looking for simplicity. And I see why they made these plugins, right? The Gain 2, the side chain John, and then I think it was another one called the hold on, where is that? It's in utilities, is it? It's called it's the Gain 2. Okay. And where's the other one? Sidechain 2 and the Stereo 2. This right here. And the Stereo 2. So I get it now why they did that. Again, for it can be a faster workflow for those who don't want to go to the mixer while they doing something. Because if you think about it, this widening tool right here, you normally get that concept right here is when you got a stereo track. If it's mono, you won't get that widening tool. But you still can use that on a mono track right here. So I get the concept. I really get the concept. So in other words, one, The whys teach you how to rig up stuff. So if you ever decide to want to work in a serious studio, Reason will teach you how to do that. 2, you don't have to rig up everything yourself. It do it automatically, and and all that type of stuff. And then it's shortcuts and shortcuts and holding shift and moving stuff around to make it change the rig up. For example, like, if you want to put this in order, you want to bring this one and put this one up here, you can hold shift like this and bring it up. And what it does, it rewire it in the back, to make it, see right here. I'm gonna show you something. So if I get this one and I bring it up here, hold shift, it's gonna rewire it. It's going to rewire it so it can work in that chain order. Just holding shift. You get this one, hold shift. It's gonna rewire that one a certain way. Automatically, they built it that way, make it easier for you. So yeah, like I told y'all, that'll teach you something. It can teach you at the same time. You don't got to do too much on it to rig up certain things unless you want to be creative and come up with a crazy idea. Also, the wires is good for creating plugins, creating concepts and plugins that you might don't want to spend for, or you might want to come up with a crazy idea that you can't get in another DAW. That's it. This is YYBY.